Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salaam Britain Kitchen. Now, be prepared to embark on the sensory journey with our sumptuous creation, nut chocolate. So, chocolate nut is something that I've heard, but nut chocolate. But let's see. This delectable treat is a perfect fusion of smooth, rich chocolate and an array of premium nuts, delivering a harmonious blend of sweet and savory flavors.
Nut chocolate is a delightful indulgence that satisfies your cravings for both the sweet and the wholesome, offering a truly unforgettable taste experience. Get ready to savor the perfect balance of luxury and nutrition in every bite of this extraordinary delight. And, can't wait. Chef Petrina, tell us all about it.
Hello, everyone. So today, I'm not going to be chopping onions or garlic. It's really not, in fact, there's no knife here. So I'm going to be cooking nut chocolate. Now, chocolate, most people love it. And unfortunately, the ones we find in the shops, they are full of a lot of sugar and it's not really very healthy. So today, I'm just going to show you a healthy version, which you can make in minutes. And I've proven the point because I've had guests unexpectedly come to my home and they've said, I've heard about your chocolate, can you make it? And I made it on the spot for them within 20, 30 minutes. So this is something you can do as well. So because the chocolate needs to be actually cooled down and sort of like frozen a bit, I've actually pre-prepared some before, but I'm also going to show you how to actually do it from scratch. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to show you the one which I've pre-prepared first, so I can just present it on the plate. Just put on a pair of gloves.
Petrina, it's so inspiring whenever you bring in, whenever you come, especially on today's show when we're talking about cholesterol awareness, you bring in your homemade chocolate, which is less in sugars, and doing in all that saturated sugars and fats.
Processed, so kind of like less processed stuff.
So it's amazing to have you on the show.
Yes, thank you. So what I've done is I've actually used this is like you can call it a chocolate mold, but you can actually also use this as putting ice, making ice cubes. It's just heart-shaped for the reason I bought it, but you can actually get any ones which are in the shops. So I've actually made it and frozen it, or you can just put it in the fridge just to make the chocolate just harden. And then all you have to do is just push it out on a plate like this very easily, and it's really like heart-shaped.
Okay.
There you go. Sometimes it does stick, but not to worry too much if it's slightly melted, but you can just put it like that.
Chef Petrina, do you line the mold when you're putting the chocolate in?
No, I don't, because the chocolate is actually already made with coconut oil. So it's quite, it's got the moisture there. So you can see this one, because it's traveled slightly, it's slightly melted. But, if you serve it directly from the fridge or freezer, it'll actually be great. So that's really how it looks like from the mold.
Oh, nice.
They look really like shop, but to be honest, they don't look like,
Exactly. And then you can just buy these ones in the various shapes, and then you can just make your own heart shapes or, just square or anything like that. And what I did also is that last night I actually decided to make one which is not in a mold, which is like that. So it's just a chunk of chocolate which I've just cut up, so you can actually see that as well.
So these are
Okay.
Yeah, lovely.
Very nice.
So just get rid of these gloves. Don't need that anymore.
So, Chef, interesting question. Like, if somebody's got nut allergy and doesn't want to use the nuts, so we can just make the chocolate on its own as well, and we can avoid the nuts.
Yes, that's fine. This is why this one, the heart-shaped ones, I've actually made it with nuts. But this one, I actually tried it last night with. You can put like things like cherries. This one's got cherries in it, no nuts at all, and you can do different versions, or even plain chocolate. So it depends on what you want, really.
Yes, you can put anything, I suppose, like raisins, anything.
Dates.
Yeah, raisins, exactly.
Yeah.
Raisins, berries, strawberries as well. You get strawberry chocolate in the shop, so you can actually make your own as well.
Oh,
Very
lovely.
nice.
Okay, so the ingredients totally up to you. Whatever you fancy or whatever you have, that's not going to be affecting your health in that way if you're allergic to nuts and things like that. So, okay, so we're going to start to do it from scratch. I'll show you how to do it from scratch. Now, the stove, this is not really like cooking, so it's going to be on very low heat. I'm just going to put it on like a 2 on this electric cooker. I'm going to show you the ingredients while waiting for the pot to heat up. So I've got some hazelnuts here and some almonds. I'm actually glad the last show that lady was actually talking about health benefits of nuts as well. So almonds, hazelnuts, you can put walnuts as well, pecans, pistachios if you want to. So I'm just going to heat it up slightly. You can just like roast it slightly if you want to. The almonds, I've actually got it with the skin. That's a bit more healthy as well with the skin, right? And then what I'm going to do after roasting the nuts, if you want, I'm actually going to pound it in this mortar and pestle. It's not compulsory, but I thought if you want like bits of nuts, it's easier. Otherwise, what I've done sometimes, I've actually also put the whole nut into each chocolate. So the variety is up to you. And then after that, I'm going to be using coconut oil. This is extra virgin coconut oil, so very healthy. And chocolate obviously made up of cocoa powder here. And to add a bit more texture, I've got 2 different types. One is like a darker cocoa, and this is a bit lighter. And I've also going to add some cinnamon. Cinnamon's nice as well, got powder. You can also use the cinnamon sticks if you want to. The only thing is, if you use the cinnamon sticks, then the powder, the chocolate tends to go into the stalk, is it? So it's a bit messy, so powder is a bit better. Optional, I'm going to add some sea salt, very fine sea salt, just to give it a bit of like a salty, sweet taste. And I'm going to add some coconut powder as well, just to give it more flavor. And I put in the recipe that if you want like a mint chocolate, then you can actually put fresh mint, finely chopped. But what I'm going to do today is I've got some essential oils, which is peppermint essential oil as well. So I'm going to use that, just 3 drops or so. Okay, and last but not least, I'm also going to put some vanilla. I've got some vanilla pot powder. So I can put a little bit in as well, so give a bit of vanilla essence flavor. Or you can actually use the essence, which is the liquid form as well. And last but not least, I'm going to put some raw honey. Raw honey is something you don't really cook, so I'm just going to let the oil, the pan's going to be hot with the coconut oil. And now that the pan is hot, I'm just going to add the honey towards the end, the last bit. So let's just do the nuts first. Just going to make it cook slightly, just like that, without any oil. And yeah, the last bit I've got some agave honey as well. So I'm just going to use it. This is slightly liquid form, you can see as well. So that's basically the gist of it. Nuts, as you know, almonds. Almonds, the reason why it's good is because it's the only nut that is alkaline. Nuts are good for you, but most of the nuts, in fact, all the other nuts like walnuts, hazelnuts, pecans, they're all acidic. So you need to have a balance of alkaline and acid in your body. If we are too much into acidic food, then that's where we get all the illnesses. So this is where you need to bear in mind. So almonds is good, good for lowering high blood pressure, good for diabetes, high in protein as well, and it keeps you full. It's a good sort of food to have on the go. You know, a lot of people, we tend to commute and we say we don't have time to, do this, do that, and we tend to buy other unhealthy foods along the way.
Yeah, processed
Having a
ones,
handful of
yes.
nuts, in your bag, it's not hard to actually keep that. And then when you're hungry, you just have it.
Yeah, so it's interesting how you bring out the nuts now. So the almonds, I never thought almonds in that way, that they're alkaline or certain nuts are acidic in nature. What are your thoughts on that, Mars? Because I love pistachios. Now you need to tell me if pistachios are
love pistachios, yeah.
acidic or alkaline in nature, so I can just try to balance with a little bit of almonds in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also the trick is once you've eaten the nuts, then what you can do is have an apple or a pear just to balance it as well. Some fruits, yeah. So the nuts are pretty much just hot and. You can actually roast these in the oven as well, slightly, just to give it a bit of warm.
And like what you said, we can batch make this, coming
Yeah.
like, and we can just freeze it and just take it out as and when we need our chocolates.
Yes,
Can
exactly.
we
Yeah, you
put
can
it in
do
the
that.
freeze? Should we put this in the fridge or the freezer?
Ideally in the freezer. Like this one, I've actually put it overnight in the freezer, and actually put it overnight in the fridge. So it's melted slightly on the way, but if you're just taking it out straight from the freezer, it should be fine. So now the pan that it's hot, I'm actually going to turn off the heat completely, because the coconut oil, you don't really want to like cook it. It's just basically melting it. So how much you need for a portion for this sort of container is probably like two of these heaped. It's probably like two heaped tablespoons, basically.
So, yes, Petrina, and I think coconut oil is good in saturated fat, so it's good cholesterol you're taking.
That's right. It doesn't actually have any cholesterol, so it's actually good. Which is why you always see me cooking with coconut oil compared to the other oils.
And this
There
is
you
this
go.
is a extra virgin coconut oil. as
Exactly,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this amount of oil, you see, it's actually enough for that quantity. So I'm just going to let it melt, maybe just a heat about 1.
It melts so quickly.
It does, yeah. This is why in this weather, that's actually the best time to actually cook.
Yes, for our audiences who are watching this at home, there's a picture of our ingredients that have been used for this chocolate, delicious nut chocolate. So if you're at home, take a picture before you lose all the ingredients to the screen.
Or you can go on the video on demand, so you can cook along with Chef Petrina.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, by all means. So yes, I'm just going to let this coconut oil melt, and while it's melting, I'm just going to pound the nuts slightly. Like I said, this one is optional. You don't really have to pound the nuts if you don't want to. Sometimes it falls out. Fine. Okay. Sometimes to make it work better, you can also put this on a cloth and just pound it there so the bits don't actually fly out too much. That's a lot better.
So what are your favorite toppings, Mars?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Chocolate.
There's
What
a
nuts would you put in?
variety. Yeah, definitely pistachio. That's number one. But I think like almonds are quite good. They're classic kind of like accompaniment to chocolate.
I think we try to go for our own Snickers with with peanuts.
Ah, yes, yeah.
And dates as well in the texture,
Yeah.
instead of caramel.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it a go. Let's see.
See, I like peanut butter, but I've recently seen some research about it that you should not have much peanut butter.
Yeah, because it's got too.
It's not something we recommend because it's actually not a nut, it's a legume. And the thing is, the peanuts tend to be sprayed a lot with pesticides.
Okay.
So it's something we don't, yeah.
There it goes. There you go. So peanuts, please.
Peanuts.
No, you need to. I mean, I'm in a shock here. I was ready to make my own Snickers
Peanut
chocolates with peanuts and peanut butter. There goes our topping.
Okay,
No,
so we'll
no.
go back to the healthier ones.
We go back to almonds.
Almonds is, I'm sure a lot of people like almonds as well. So.
Yes.
Okay, so I've pounded it slightly better with this, this way. Saves the nuts from flying everywhere as well. Okay, so the coconut oil is heated up. That's all we need to do. We're gonna add the cocoa powder. That's about 2 tablespoons. The coconut powder as well, about 2 tablespoons. A bit of the darker chocolate. Depends on whether you want a chocolate dark. The cinnamon, we're going to add about a little bit, about half a tablespoon. You don't want it to be overpowering as well. The sea salt, again, just a pinch, not a lot.
Chocolates with sea salt.
Oh,
So good.
Yeah, it's a nice taste of like mixture of sweet and salty. Just touch.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see because the oil is hot, you know, you don't have to like boil it or anything like that. It's not like you're frying the cocoa. So you just have to just mix it. And oh yes, I'm going to add a bit of the vanilla essence as well. Not a lot, slightly.
So you're using the powdered form?
Yeah, the powder form. Like I said, you can use the liquid form as well. It's just that I didn't have it. I had the powder form. The other one, which is cinnamon, you can actually use the sticks as well, the original one. The only issue is, like I said, I tried it with the sticks before, and the chocolate tends to get into the grooves of the cinnamon. So it's nice. You can actually, like, you know, suck it later, but it just gets a bit messy if you want to cook it for guests. So that's basically the chocolate heated up, and then these nuts I'm going to add later. All you have to do is add a little teaspoon of honey. Like I said, the honey, you're not going to, depends on how sweet you want it as well, but probably like a teaspoon should do it. If you want it slightly sweeter, it's up to you, but you know, it's...
So again, you're using raw honey, like
yeah, raw
using
honey.
virgin coconut oil. But how easy it is to get raw honey?
It's very easy. These were available in the shop as well.
Okay.
So it's easy. Get the ones which are set, not the runny honey, because you know you're gonna have issues with the chocolate otherwise.
Okay.
Being runny. And yeah, I'm just gonna add a bit of this agave sweetener as well.
I usually use this as in for tea and certain desserts, to be
Yes,
honest, as a
I love
replacement
this
for
one.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. These are all the healthier options of that. So that's basically the chocolate done. I'm gonna switch off the stove now. And all you have to do is, in fact, I'm gonna just use, let me just use this new one. So all you have to do is get a spoon.
I suppose if you can find a crescent moon mold, you can do this for Ramadan,
Absolutely.
right? You can
Small
have
ones.
Yeah, those little tiny ones that you can have, like, you know.
How cute would that be?
Yeah, like little crescent moon chocolate.
Are you going to
shape.
try doing that?
I'm not going to do it as well as Chef Petrina, so.
Yeah, but Mars is going to give us a try and come to our Ramadan episodes. I think we're going to see it live in one.
Here's one I made earlier.
Yes,
Then you just have to lie when
We're gonna put it on a
Eat it.
table and we're gonna eat.
Pretend.
No, we pretend eat because
Pretend
it's gonna
eat.
be Ramadan telecast.
That's-
We'll be fasting.
Okay, so you just have to use a spoon, stir it, and put it as careful as you can in the mold. Even if you spill it on the sides, it's fine, because you can always just use a knife to actually scrape it up while it's soft. So it's not a big issue.
And you can always taste it as well, the spills, remember. Just do the lick test.
Yeah, this is like, you know, like when you're making cake and everyone likes to lick the
butter.
bowl.
The rest of the butter.
This is the fun bit of it.
You know us far too well, Chef Petrina.
Yeah. Yeah. So just get a little mixture of everything in there. As I said, with the nuts, you can actually put half of it before you chop it all up. Or you can put the nuts whole as well. So I'm just gonna put the little bit of nuts in every case. Get a mixture. As we mentioned, you can swap it with fruit as well if you prefer, or have it plain. It's totally up to you.
Yeah. We can put in the dates, but please avoid peanut butter.
Yes.
If you want the healthier option.
Yeah. Yes. That's
If you
right.
want the unhealthy option, then
Yeah. But hey, you know, this is already a lot healthier than the ones which you'll find in the shops anyway, because the ones, they'll be made from mainly white sugar.
Yes.
So, you know, even if you've changed a little bit of the menu, you're already a long way to getting healthier.
absolutely.
And
It's
this
the
is-
small steps.
Yes, and it's good for children too, right? You know,
Yeah.
these are a lot healthier rather than getting chocolate bars, you know, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
It's a nicer snack.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% agree to that.
Yes, and I think with children as well, or anyone, if you get them involved in this process, they will love it as well.
Yes.
And they'll be proud and said they've made their own chocolate.
Yes.
So Chef Petrina, my last question on this would be, how long do you need to leave them in the freezer?
In the freezer, probably about 20 minutes.
And
It doesn't take long.
And in the fridge?
In the fridge, you can leave them for a few weeks, really.
Okay.
But my recommendation was, if you've got space in the freezer, leave in the freezer, and then as and when you need to consume it, then you can defrost it slightly
Okay.
and eat it. So defrosting doesn't take long as well, depending on the weather as well and the heat of your room. So that's basically the nuts done. So you can come over and enjoy, taste test.
Oh, I think Chef Petrina's inviting us to come over.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think we're going to do this in a bit once we've wrapped up, so we can indulge in the nut chocolate.
Oh, yeah, because you got to think of the teeth for now. Thank you for reminding, because I was going to go over there straight to Chef Petrina. And
Absolutely. For those of you who are watching, it's amazing to be in the studio today with Chef Petrina and Faria J and Mars.
Chris.